Hey. Of course, I start coughing as soon as I go live. Sorry, guys. Um, so today in Crafty Time, I wanted to go through the first sketchbook I ever finished. This thing has been beat up and loved, and the corners coming undone. But this is a sketchbook from Walmart. This, I think, was $4. $4. From Walmart, if I remember correctly. It was over by their journals and their planners and sketchbooks. Excuse me. I'm fighting a cold. I'm so sorry, guys. You'll probably be hearing me take sips of water a lot, and I apologize. Hopefully, I'm coughing a lot, but I almost never do anything on this first page. Sometimes I do, depending on how flat it is, but with how this page was glued in, I decided just to skip it. So this is from July 2017 to July 2018, almost exactly 1 year. And this is the first sketchbook I've ever finished. This was an idea for my husband because when I started this, I said I couldn't draw. I'm not good enough at drawing. I'm suck at it. There's no point. My husband has an illustration major and he draws all the time. And I would see his compare myself to it and think, well, there's no way I can do what he does. And if you do that, please stop. It's just gonna kill your own creativity and your own what's the word, confidence when you can do stuff. Because this was my very first sketch in this sketchbook. I'm gonna get a little closer. So I am a huge Firefly nerd. That was my first nerd, I guess, my first geek out, my first love sci-fi stuff. And so I found a picture and tried to mimic it and then tried to do a city. So this is kind of where my ability was at the time of I'm going to make something up and draw it. And this is all pencil and shading, so nothing super fabulous. And then we were decided to sit outside, and this is the house across the street from us and the tree right in front of our house. I'm not very happy with it, but it does show my progress if you look later. We were at John Ball Zoo here in Grand Rapids, and Nessie is a figure from Art Prize years and years ago, and they put it in the river there. And then I made up a weirdo alien plant, another plant. So I won't talk about everything, but this was also the same day as Nessie. So was this. Just kind of playing with some gray markers. But this, I was trying to mimic there was this area where you could go inside and take classes. And so different trees. Let me see if you can see some of the different tones of green. We had just gotten some Spectrum Noir Illustrator markers, so I was playing with those. This is me just playing. I like to do Zentangle, so this was me just throwing a bunch of shapes and Zentangle stuff in there. Got some quotes. And I have a book that says, oh, it's actually right here. Hold on. I was using it. Ugh, sorry. So 20 ways to draw everything with 135 nature themes, from cats and tigers to tulips and trees. And this is a really fun book. So that's where this is from, these tulips. I drew the other thing first, but so the tulips are from the book, just drawing different types of tulips designs. And then I'm still very proud of this guy. This snail is still one of my best pieces, I think, for when I first started out. He turned out so good. Different doodles. Again, the hedgehog and the mushrooms are from the 20 Ways to Draw Everything. Just having fun. Decided to draw mice, on a cheese moon. Still drawing more flowers out of the book. My husband decided suggested I draw something upside down to see if I can get the proportions better and then flip it, which actually really helped. So I turned the book upside down and drew it, following it, to see if I could trick my brain. And I love this little fox. He's so cute. FYI, if you haven't figured it out, this is probably going to be very long. I don't know where I got this idea of doing blocks and then putting different pictures in it. This is a Zentangle pattern. This is a Zentangle. This is from the 20 Ways to Draw Everything. So is this. Just random monster guy. Here's a plant I saw in a cafe near us. And then just an elephant and just some random stuff. It's kind of hard to see. I did start to draw something and I didn't like it, so I flipped the page and ended up drawing a tree with my grayscales. And then here's me trying to practice some realism, some teardrops, an eye. These are following some YouTube sketches and tutorials. Again, trying to do something upside down, looking at an image from one of my husband's books. Happy stars, weird little plants, just having fun. My husband told me to draw a mother doing laundry. Unfortunately, that's what came out. Yeah, just lots of different stuff. Aha! So here we have Inktober, my very first Inktober. I'm very excited because I actually finished it. So I'll just kind of flip through this. If you want to see each day's image, you can go to my Instagram, Danielle TDG, all one word. And that has the last 2 years of my Inktobers. This was just a random doodle I just threw in. Random like robot guy, monster breathing something. And then back to Inktober. I love this map. This map turned out so cool. Sword. This is something I was not happy. I was not happy with. I thought the face turned out okay, but when I added the nose bridge part, it didn't look right with the book. It was supposed to be shy, like she was hiding behind the book. I wasn't hugely happy with the hair. I didn't know what to do with it, but I thought the eyes turned out pretty good because I'm not good with duplicate, like getting both eyes the same. New Inkjoy pens. Here's another idea for shy I sketched out, but this is the one I ended up using. My 4 little monster guys. Random insert later because I had an extra blank page, so I tried later filling in all the blank pages. So I decided to draw, oh, what is this, an organ? No, I can't even think of what that is right now. But here's another Inktober. Here's an Inktober. I did 2 because I didn't like the hand. I'm still very new at this. So left is Inktober, and then right is a later edition on 11/4. Found this on Pinterest, and I put the person's name there that I found. More Inktober. This is, I got behind, and so I merged 2 of them. This one was fun. This is from All Except for the Sassy Bunny looking over her shoulder from the 20 Ways to Draw Everything. Mysterious. Let's get dangerous. Alright, and so I love this one. It looks so fat. Who are you calling fat? That's kind of my humor. I have a really dry sense of humor. Got a graceful giraffe. Got a stinky dump. Got some clouds. My husband suggested I draw Donald Duck for Furious. He absolutely loves Donald Duck, and so he has a Disney how-to book. So it shows you the different ways, like what are the main characteristics of how to draw Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, that sort of thing. Sorry, my fingers are getting in the way. My hand was getting tired, so I'm trying to switch hands. There we go. This was my first attempt, and I realized it didn't quite work, so this is attempt number 2 for trail. Oh, and the quote says, I walk slowly, but I never walk backwards. Abraham. I love quotes. I'm a quote nut. And this is just a random monster for Juicy, because he saw a Juicy strawberry. Blind. And this took me, I think, 2.5, 3 hours. I'll just kind of go from the top here, scroll down. So the boxes that kind of scroll in here, like the boxes that actually kind of go in and circle, that's a Zentangle pattern. And then all of these patterns are also Zentangle patterns. This is one of my favorites. I love doing that one. And so this was deep, and I just thought it would be fun to do. Practice some of my patterns. This was for ship. Thought it was fun doing eyeballs and a tentacle. This is a double. Climb and squeak. So it's a squeaky house and climbing vines here. Fall. So we got both fall leaves and they're falling. And this is a double. This is united and found. So they found the city, which I thought I did pretty good on my city. Got a bunny and a kitty because I hate drawing humans. And the last one is mask. So I used Scotch tape to make a mask, so it's almost like masking tape, making a little mask. Alright, so I'm just going to run through these. These are Punsibilities. I wanted to do a bunch of drawings of puns, so I wrote down all these different ideas on what could be different puns I could draw. And so then I started drawing a couple. So I've got couch potato. Hey now. There we go. I hope you haven't been out of focus too long, but couch potato, freezer burn, bookworm, dragonfly, handcuffs. I left a couple extra blank pages, so if I think of any. This is, again, from the 20 Ways to Draw Everything book. Decided I couldn't think of what to draw, so I drew some monsters and then a border. Get a monster. This, I don't remember exactly what this was. I just kind of drew this weird thing, and then I decided what would it look like in a step. How would you describe that in steps? I do some weird stuff in my sketchbook. Me trying to create a bat, a hedgehog coming out of a mug, and that's supposed to say I heart Mortos, but I realized that Mortos would actually start over here, so I kind of did that wrong. And a weird little snaky. This was Thanksgiving at my husband's cousin's house. We were just kind of sitting around. It wasn't actually Thanksgiving, it was the weekend before, but we try and get together on a Sunday that everybody has available. And so I just decided I'm going to draw their fireplace. It looks fairly simple. While everybody was just chit-chatting, we were done eating, and kids were playing and going nuts. I love drawing mandalas. Here's one. I was testing out some Arteza fine liners I had gotten. They had them on sale for $16 for a 72 count. And so I love fine liners. I love little markers and stuff to play with. So I was playing with those here. This, are you going to focus? This is just really light on your end. It's got a couple birds, and then I tried to draw like a weird dragon thing. Didn't quite work. And then I was told, hold on. Wow, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. It was suggested to me in a couple videos I had watched that if you kind of have art block and you don't know what to draw, cut some pictures out of magazines. So that's what I did. I took some washi tape for that one and did the night lights. Got some cool wildlife stuff here. Oh, that I need to reglue in. Just some pretty pictures. And then I got this idea. Let me move it so you can see it. There we go. Where I colored in the hat and the tie on the surfer guy. I added the monster, the fishies, the cloud, the octopus on the top. And I think this is supposed to be a turtle or a monster, like on a surfboard. There's the little monster. So I ended up having some fun with it and coloring over one of the drawings and just putting some interesting little facts and cool pictures I really liked. And then I ended up doing this, I think a couple days after I did that. I like that one a lot. Got some new color your own washi tape, so I was trying to do a pattern, but then I realized that was actually supposed to go there and I kind of messed it up, so I just bleh. Sorry. This was a lot of fun. So I decided to take notes and just be goofy. This is from a magazine I was doing. So travel type. So I typed it to typers. And then I made this say something different by blocking out words. So it says, try this trick for getting cool background shot as your peeps have people stand closer, then snap them with the background over their shoulders. So just kind of blocking out words and seeing what it looked like. I never did do it, but like the surfer photo, I wanted to draw things into the spring, to the summer, fall, and winter. So I plan to come back and do that. I just haven't yet. This was a funky idea I got. I don't know. I called it fanspiration. I'm such a nerd. But there was this fan blade that had this weird like half circle and 2 indents and another piece here. And I'm like, that looks like a smile. What would it look like? There we go. What would it look like if he was a little robot and not just a fan? So here's my first attempt. Here's my second attempt. I like this guy a little better. And so I planned on continuing and I just never went back. But decided to draw kind of a devilish tower. This didn't quite work the way I'd hoped. Ooh, it looks nice on here though. For me, I can barely see the white, but you guys get the glare nice on there. So it says awareness allows us to not hide in the deep darkness. And so it's supposed to look like headlights coming onto a side road, a sign on the side of the road. There we go. And then this, just a weird little doodle thing. And it says, drive faster. I don't know how long Benny can hang on. It's just this weird animal hanging onto the back door with this big old snout popping through the back. It's kind of like imaginary friend kind of thing. Person doing a yoga stance with another flower, and the yoga stance person will come back. There's a reason for that. Here's another mandala, and this is this cool 3D paint stuff I got, and I was just testing it because I have room on the page. So here's the yoga stance guy. I actually had this in a dream randomly. Sorry guys, I forgot to turn my vibrate off. So I'm sorry if you're getting the zzz noise in your ear. But I'm so sorry. But this I had in a dream where I just kind of saw this. And so I drew it out. Here's another snaily guy, butterfly with some white paint, whiteout stuff, flower. And we are only about halfway through, so I should probably get going a little faster. This was me trying to do poses and stuff. People scare me. Not people, well, drawing people scare me. That's a much better way to put it. Drawing people scares me. I don't like it. I don't feel good at it. And so I was looking at different ways to draw figures and stuff. This was playing with a brush pen. I was very happy with that because I don't like brush pens. Practicing some shadows and playing with some doors. And I love this. This is from a picture I found just Googling stuff. I love finding like abandoned places and seeing if I can recreate it. So this is the Spectrum Noir markers and some fine liners and a Sharpie, or not a Sharpie, Prismacolor white pencil. And yeah, just decided to draw it. This was me just doodling at a cafe with my friend. This is me trying to draw a human without reference. Look at my muscles! Because he looked so weird to me that his arms were out like that. I loved this picture and had to redo it. So this is from Pinterest. Caitlin Bennett did that originally. Trying to do the moon with colored pencil and some white sketches. That actually turns up really well on here. Doing like a really big, just kind of repeated pattern. And I am so proud of my octopus. The only thing I messed up is this should have been more rounded instead of just straight. But other than that, I am so happy with my pink octo. Turned out so cool. Did this at the laundromat. Was bored. I love the wall. Another little robot. Look at me, so cute. This was an experiment of doing kind of a Rorschach test, I think it is, where I have a couple different colored inks, so I dropped some white inks, and that's paint, that marker that came through the other side, but I dropped some different color, or drops of the white ink, and then smushed it, and then came back, and so all the white you see is the ink that got smushed, and I'm like, what can I make with it? And so I instantly saw this teddy bear face, but then I'm like, what are these? And I'm like, ooh, they could be like extra antenna, and these look kind of like ducks to me, but not really, and I don't know, I just kind of went nuts and with it, just was goofy. This was my Instagram profile pic for a really long time because I love this little monster. He's so cute. Playing with some new alcohol markers that I got. I'm not very good with alcohol markers, at least I don't think so, so I don't use them that often. I'm more comfortable and familiar with color pencil, and so I use that a lot, and you'll see that on my Instagram. And this is the cover photo because I'm quite proud of this. There was at the Grand Rapids Public Museum an exhibit of dragons, unicorns, and mermaids. And so this is one of the Asian dragons that I took a picture of. And then I decided it needed something else, and one of the people I follow was doing these bottles with different things inside of them. So I did that with it. So I thought that's kind of cool because you get water dragons, you have land dragons, or desert dragons. This was intending to be another one of the block, like you draw stuff in the different squares. And I started to shade to separate it, but I didn't like this weird bunny character. I don't even know what it is. I love my leaf, or my feather, not my leaf, my feather, but I don't know what this is. So, I was really sick one day. I've been sick a lot since June. I've had a lot of health, both physical and mental health concerns. And so I drew this first, then this. That's right. I thought I drew this, but I drew this first because I'm like, all these bacteria are like attacking me, and what would that look like if all these evil mutant bacteria are attacking me? Like, what weapons would they have? And so I drew this just being silly, and then I'm like, you know what? No, they're not gonna win. You're outnumbered by all my white and red blood cells. And so I tried to draw them semi-realistically and give them action lines, and shoom, they're gonna kill the bacteria. So again, my humor's pretty awful. This is me playing with inks. I inked the entire black part, and I don't know if you can hear this compared to, like, it's really stiff. I love it. I love the feel of it. And I was really depressed. So it became this weird red, squiddy, pointy, demon-looking creature. But I love the ghost I made on the other side with the white ink. That was fun. And then I decided to see if the ink worked okay on this paper, because this is a $4 sketchbook. I wanted to see what watercolor did. So this was one of my experiments with watercolor. And I don't do a lot with watercolor, so I didn't wait long enough and that kind of bled in. But I was just playing with clouds and having fun. That was a lot of fun to do. Another attempt at a dragon. And I did a very squishy monster. So there's an event near us called Blood Bash. We're actually doing it, I think, on the 16th here of February coming up in 2019. And they had this one vendor who was doing bloody, like, teddy bears and stuff. Like, he did some really gory, crazy stuff. And one of them looked like Winnie the Pooh. So I had to draw this Winnie the Pooh-esque character with all this blood everywhere. Oh, hold on. My phone is telling me I'm gonna die. Oh my goodness. And there we go. Okay, now I just have to keep the cord out of your way. And we're gonna move this over here a little bit. There we go. So, sorry, this is not very organized. Welcome to my reality. And so I didn't have red, but I had this pink paint marker graphic. It's a Grafhik paint marker, which I love, but they bleed sometimes. But this was just a lot of fun to do. It's gory, but it's cute because it's pink and not red. And then this was me trying to do kind of a weird galaxy with markers and seeing what I could do. This was supposed to be a shooting star. Playing with different medium, I don't like, or at least I didn't, I'm starting to learn a little better how to use them, oil pastels. So that's oil pastels, some more watercolor, drawing some random flowers. This is from Pinterest. I couldn't find the original person who drew it, but this took me 45 minutes to do. It is the most simplistic, like, shoom, swooshy, like, it feels really flowy, and I love it, but it was so difficult to do because you had to, like, each line had to be done with very specific intention and, like, very slow or very quick, depending on the look. And it was with a brush pen, which I'm not very good at, so I'm very proud of that guy. I also love troll hunters, and so this was my ode to troll hunters, trying to draw Arg and Blinky. Wow. And then I tried to draw Troll Market and some of the cave stuff behind them, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like where it was going. Like, this didn't look big enough compared to the troll bridge behind them, and so I just kind of got frustrated with it and gave up. But if you want to see the progress shots of this, I do have it on my Instagram still. This I still need to finish. I absolutely love this. This is kind of a response to someone asking me about my spirituality. And I'm not going to go into detail, but you've got the butterfly wing and then kind of an eagle or a really dark bird's wing. I'll go a little closer because it's got some really fine detail, where this is really smooth. This is kind of rougher, and it's got a bunch of different colors and textures and shadows in it, and I love it. And then this was an idea of kind of what to do of the sun rise, but upside down, and then kind of a mountain volcano on the top, where on the bottom it was light and on the top it was dark. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do exactly yet. And then another monster, but instead of being black, he's pink. I will slime you. Bounce for your life. So, again, my humor. This is, again, pens, but trying to do a galaxy. Oh, jeez. I cut my finger earlier and it's starting to burn. So kind of a pen gag attempt. This is an all-over page. This was inspired by Scribblefix Design. She was doing a bunch of cats, and so I was trying to do a bunch of kitties. This is inspired by Fortunately the Milk. Some of their designs and illustrations in the book. It's an amazing book if you haven't read it. Another mandala with the same Arteza pens, actually. Practicing and playing with watercolor, trying layering and trying to do a basket weave pattern. This is from another book of patterns. It's all photographs, and this is intended to be a photo of a, I think it's like a British or Russian, like, oh goodness, the picture is actually huge. This is just a small segment of it, but of an apartment complex. And so this side like had nothing fancy. It was just all windows with little, like, it's supposed to show the railing, but then it's supposed to have like a little patio thing. And then these were all the apartments like right next to it. And I love the kind of dichotomy of it. And so I tried to draw it. I love this. I love how this rock path turned out. I think it turned out really cool. And then my crow. I love my crow. This is actually taken from a photo as well. My husband took a picture in costume with a live crow at Horror Hound a couple years ago. And so that's from that. Decided I wanted to draw mushrooms, so I drew a mushroom village. I don't know why, but it was fun. Alright, so I did the April art challenge. I love the Inktober challenge, so I wanted to do another challenge because it keeps me drawing and it gives me ideas of what to do. Oh, I also had gotten new Posca pens. And I love me some Posca pens. Let me see. There we go. And I also got some pearlescent paints and some coal erase pencils, all from Blick Online. So this is day one. I'm just going to kind of flip kind of quick through these. I tried to do a fun pattern on him, but you know. These are all the April Art Challenge prompts. I started to do these a little smaller than the year before for most of them. I started simplifying. Oops. Oh, my charger came undone. Sorry, guys. You probably just heard another. And you got to see my mess. I'm sorry. So yeah, here's another double page spread that's actually split, so you get 4 of them. That's me playing with a new stencil. And then you get 2. It's actually a refrigerator for that one. But yeah, 2 on that page. Got 1 there. This is not one. This was just me kind of playing around. The bottom one is. Okay. Oh, I got some new. Hold on. My phone is being stupid. Sorry, it keeps buzzing in your guys' ear. I'm trying to hurry. We're 3/4 of the way through and 30 minutes in. Told you this was gonna be a long one. Got some new washi tapes. Got 2 more here. I love Voodoo. I think he's a cute one. Sorry, someone just texted me. Stop it. Stop. My goodness, I love my friends, but this was fun to do too. Next time I will turn it on to silent. I am so sorry, guys. I'm still learning, and I appreciate if you're still going with me at this point. And film scene. I think I did pretty good on that. I hope you can know what that is from Thor Ragnarok. Happy birthday, favorite moment in April? Both me and my husband's birthdays. Oh, got some really light sketches here. And a Grumpy Mountain is what that says. Got some weird sketches there. Tried to do a galaxy witch hat. Washi tape heart. Some buggy doos. Now this is me just messing around. I'm pretty happy with that snail too. And critiquing my own stuff. Blah. Trying some different types of clouds. And you can see with my little faces how I like them or not. Practicing drawing some different characters that I own. These are some little figures I have. And then just doodles. Spooky spooky. This is Baron Oscar von Grendelstein. He is one of our stuffed animals. And two little doodles. And this was an idea I saw another artist do, where you do something and then you unfold it and it turns into something else by lines. But I realized I was doing it so detailed that it wasn't going to make sense to turn it into anything else. So I just kind of stopped. I really like how this turned out. I used my Posca pens down here. Got my quote with all my Zentangle patterns. Super secret plan. I got bored and decided to do this. All my red X's are where various water balloons, grenades, rat traps, rubber bands, all that kind of stuff are. A friend of mine took me to go see the Decemberists, and this was their backdrop. So I never finished inking it in, but I sketched it while we were there. More mushrooms. Random doodle. Random doodle I never finished. Again with some Arteza pens. It's going a little crazy. And this should look very different. This is my husband's art. When I say my husband is very good at art and he has a very cool style, this is his style. He loves drawing goblins. It was October when he drew this. He just flipped towards the back of the sketchbook and decided to draw some goblins, because if he doesn't know what to draw, that's what he draws. He loves drawing goblins. So he drew them jumping over pumpkins. So for years I tried comparing myself to that, and you can't do that. He went to school for this, and he's older than I am, and he's had many years practicing this. So yeah. This was playing with my Posca. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there we go. Got some shiny bronze Posca pens. Random doodles. Trying to draw some monsters. Stop it, phone. Different monsters with different textures. My dancing cactus. And this is from a prompt book that actually Casey Golden uses for her prompts, and I can't think of what it's called. I think it's just 500 drawing prompts, and this was number 1, was waterfall. So, and I think this is my last one in here. This is during kind of a really dark time for me, and so I just felt like I was hidden and no one could see me, and I was falling into darkness. But then when I came back and looked at this, I realized, no, there's a lot around me that is positive, and people giving me a lot of grace and belief and positivity. So I used my metallic Posca pens and drew that around me. So that kind of ended up that picture. And then I got some wonderful, wonderful stickers and an image from a local artist here. I'll have to put his links to his Instagram here once I'm able to get to a computer with internet. I will put his links below, but he gave me some fabulous little stickers. He is a great artist. I love his work. But that is the end of the sketchbook. Thank you for bearing with me. I did not think that was going to be a 40-minute long, but I talk a lot, so you know. And again, if you were wondering, the book I used for a lot of those flowers and mushrooms and different things is this one right here. So I hope you're doing well. I hope this finds you doing fantastic now that the snow is melting here. I know in West Michigan it's all slushy, but at least it's not freezing. Knock on wood. So I will hopefully see you tomorrow and have a fabulous day, my friends.